right, hello and welcome, Be Intentional family, to our first edition of Real Couples, Real Life. I just love that title, Real Couples, Real Life. You can't get no realer than that. And today we are going to be talking to a very real couple, Mancho and Nawasha Edu. Welcome, Mancho and Nawasha.
How are you?
We are good. I'm so excited about our first edition of Real Couples, Real Life, and I'm excited to have the two of you. And before we get started, I just want to give our listeners a little background about you all. Everybody, the EDOs are an extraordinary couple. They're out here doing excellent work in the community to build up relationships, to build up families, and to strengthen the foundations of the world in our families. And they are a self-described, happily married soulmate counseling team from Trenton, New Jersey. They are the founders of the counseling and consulting firm, the Acoma House Initiative, creators of the Acoma Day holiday, and authors of Acoma Day, a guidebook into the sacred science of soulmating. So they got a lot of good stuff going on. I can't wait to hear a little more about what they're doing and how we can all benefit from it. But before we do that, I want to just get behind the business a little bit. They are business partners, much like my husband and I want to find out a little more about the people behind the business. So if you can, Mancho or Nawasha, either one of you, tell us how you met.
Okay, well, greetings to the family, and thank you for having us.
Welcome.
We're very excited to be just associated with you all and just to, connect with our family down the street in that area. Right. And really just spread our message and really receive the issues and concerns that we all deal with. Right. But basically, our meeting was very inadvertent. We actually met at a car wash.
At a car wash. Okay.
Yeah, we met at a car wash in our town, and basically, just real quickly, what had happened, I was going through some stuff, leaving out of a past relationship. Went to this car wash that I go to often, and I just said to myself, if I can just find a way to deal with this situation and really move on and find, when we get in those moments, we tend to, ask for guidance and direction. And so I did that. I left. 2 weeks later, I came back to that very same car wash, and a young lady, a beautiful woman, and her sister were actually a couple spots away from me and noticed that I had a roll of paper towels. They came over and asked me if they could borrow paper towels to clean their windows, and from that moment, I saw Nawasha, and it was on from there.
Oh, right. So Nawasha was one of those beautiful sisters. She was one of them, right? Okay. Okay, so let me ask you this. So then how did your courtship go? Nawasha, was it just love at first sight for you two, and you were just like, oh, he's the one, and it was just happily ever after from day one? What was going through your mind when you first laid eyes on Mancho?
I'm just going to say it was not love at first sight. I thought Mancho was great. I thought he was funny, really clever. Our meeting was inadvertent, was, just the regular, you bump into a brother at whatever, car wash, supermarket, whatever kind of store, and, somebody tries to talk to you, but it wasn't moving me at the time. I was working 30 jobs in school, and I just had plans for my life that really didn't involve a change because I went to the car wash. So in the beginning, he definitely courted me without a doubt. Without a doubt, even though I was a little, not resistant, but just, just wasn't in my plan. It just wasn't in my plan. But the courting was amazing, wonderful, excellent, got flowers, poems, trips, dates. It was great. He really put in the effort. But I actually still went to school, moved away, and we kind of had a long-distance courtship.
Okay. So Mancho, what was it about Nawasha that, unless you just the type of brother that just does like that, you just kind of courted everybody like that, pulling out, flowers and poems. Maybe you just get down like that, but what was it about Nawasha that made you do all of that?
No, I mean, she was special. First of all, let me just say that I am handsome too. Because
That is true.
She's trying to say, it's not love at first sight. I think I felt some kind of way about that. But, you want it to be love at first sight if you felt that way. But, no. I love beautiful things, and I love art and all of that. So some of that stuff, naturally we are the composite of our history. So some of that stuff I am good with. I'm an artist. I'm a singer, poet, rapper, whatever. But, the thing I would say in a word that struck me was purity. When you meet somebody pure, when you meet someone who has that pure energy, you know it. And, even from people who know her, other brothers who have seen her and said to me, this sister is something unique about her. Her spirit is very genuine. And, when you meet a person like that, that comes across. If you just watch them move around and just, for example, clean their car, you can see that kind of genuineness in anything they do. So I picked up on that immediately. And, I was all the way in after that.
Okay, so then, you were focused. You were determined to get what you wanted. You got what you wanted because you were doing the courtship thing. But, a lot of times in life, when we're focused on a goal, when we're determined to get something, we're confronted with some challenges. It seems like, anytime we have something that we really want and we're focused, it seems like a challenge just has to pop up. And I recall that when we met in New Jersey last month, y'all told me and my husband a little bit about some drama that popped up on the scene when you all were engaged and getting ready to be married in Egypt. I mean, a beautiful wedding y'all were getting ready to have in Egypt. Tell us a little bit about the drama, if you will, and what happened, what that was all about.
Okay, well, first of all, the first obstacle that we encountered outside of the Washington was in school at the time. She moved to Miami. A lot of that stuff that was going on in school, and she had 40 jobs, and it was insane. But the first thing that we saw that we see a lot of couples deal with is that when you start a relationship, it's like a third thing. It's you, the other person, and now it becomes this third thing. It's hard for those outside people, namely people who have other genders, other men or women that are on the outside that's still trying to get in. It's hard for them to accept that. So we both had some stragglers hanging around that we had to deal with, and they would come up and pop up, and so we had to do a little cutting and slicing of those folks. But then after we got over that, we decided, this is it, for both of us. We're going to do this, and we're going to take our relationship to the ultimate level. Whenever you decide to do something like that, anything that's great comes with struggle. And so in planning, we started to come up with some adversities. We wanted to do something really special. So we decided to go to Kemet and actually get married. At that time, we were studying the Kemetic culture. We were going through a particular initiation up in Brooklyn, New York. And so we was like, we want to do something really unique for our friends and family. So we decided to have a virtual wedding where we would go to Kemet, do our ceremony, and record the history of our relationship, where we met, how we came together, the struggles we had, and whatnot, and then culminate it with the actual videotaping of the wedding in Kemet. And then we were going to mail it.
For those listening who don't know, Kemet means Egypt.
Egypt. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
No, that's all. I just want our listeners to know, so they're not saying, what they mean, Kemet?
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Kemet is the original name of Egypt in the Nile Valley, and it means land of the blacks. But so we were going to send it as a virtual DVD, and a virtual invitation. In other words, when you get it in the mail, you get a DVD in the mail, and you actually open it up, you would see the history of our relationship and then the beautiful wedding. But nothing further from that actually happened. We a lot of stuff came up personally, in the planning of a wedding. Anyone knows who has gone through that, all hell can come out. And it came out in many ways, but the most crushing way was after we overcame a lot of the hurdles that we saw, the most crushing thing happened. 3 days before we were about to leave, my passport was taken because I had an open case that was actually defunct of child support. And my son's mother and I had moved on past the court order, but never closed it. So the court order continued to grow unbeknownst to us. And when I went to, get a passport, they denied it. And so 3 days before we were about to go, I found out that I couldn't go. Money is paid. We're ready to go. Actually, Nawas's brother and sister surprised us and decided to go with us. They had paid. So, it was like going to be a beautiful thing. And then we find out on Thursday when we were about to leave. We found out on Wednesday we were about to leave on Sunday, I believe, that you can't go. You can't go out the country.
Wow. So, Nawasha, tell me, as a sister who is ready to get married, you're getting all your things together, you're letting everybody know. Where were you? What was going on in your mind when you realized he don't have no passport?
I can't even, basically, that's exactly what went through my mind. I had no word. I still don't have words now, years later, when I think back to that time. I don't know. It's a big thing to have a destination wedding anyway.
Right.
But to just be going out of the country and to know you need the passport and to know you need certain things, I had a little bit of anxiety about it anyway. And I don't know, I guess maybe it's just, foresight, I don't know. But when it really did happen, I just couldn't believe it.
Woman, you know just how I feel. Try to tell me that you don't know, when I know you know the deal.